Father of love.
Father of love.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night.
By night.
And by day.
And by day.
Through his holy prophet.
Through his holy prophet.
Juali.
Juali.
Amen.
Amen.
This way. All the way down.
It must have been cold there in my shadow to never have sunlight on your face. You were content to let me shine. That's your way. You always walk a step behind. So I was the one with all the glory, while you were the one with all the strength. A beautiful face without a name for so long. A beautiful smile to hide the pain. Did you ever know that you're my hero? Everything I would like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle. You are the wind beneath my wings. Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything I would like to be.
Take your time, man.
I can fly higher than the eagle.
Praise God.
You are the wind beneath my wings. Yes, you are, 'cause you are the wind beneath my wings. Yes, you are the wind beneath my wings.
I rise in honor to Allah, the Father of the universe. He's known by many names: Jehovah, Yahweh, Elohim. But he's the causeless cause, the rootless root from which all things are. Praise God. I want to give honor to his prophet, Noah, who was sent to this earth by Allah to teach the old time religion and the everlasting gospel to the sons of men. I give honor to our flags, the American flag, the flag of our birth, and this republic of one nation under God indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I give honor to the Moorish flag and other grand principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And I want to welcome, I give honor to all who are here in the groves today to honor our brothers. I will take a reading from the Holy Quran of the Most High of America, chapter 4. Death and lessons the meaning of death. When John was 12 years old, his mother died, and neighbors laid her body in the tomb amongst her kindred in the Hebrew burial ground and near to Zachariah's tomb. And John was deeply grieved. He wept. Nathanael said, "It is not well to weep because of death. Death is no enemy of man, it is a friend. When the work of life is done, just cuts the cord that binds the human boat to earth that it may sail on smooth seas. No language can describe your mother's worth, and yours was tried and true. But she was not called hence until her tasks were done. The cause of death are always for the best, because we are solving problems there as well as here. And one is sure to find himself where he can solve his problems. It is but selfishness that makes one wish to call again departed souls. Then let your mother rest in peace. Just let her noble life be strength and inspiration unto you. A crisis in your life is coming, and you must have a clear conception of the work that you are called to do. The sages of the ages call you the harbinger. The prophets look to you and say, "He is Elijah, come again." Your mission is that of the harbinger, for you will go before the master's face and pave his way and make the people ready to receive their king. This resonance is purity of heart. None but the pure in heart can recognize the king. To teach men to be pure in heart, you must yourself be pure in heart and word and deed. And infancy the vow was made for you, and you became a Nazarite. The razor shall not touch your face nor head, and you shall not taste wine nor fiery drinks. Men need a pattern for their lives. They love to follow, not to lead. The man who stands upon the corner and points the way but does not go is just a pointer and a block of wood. Can do the same. The teacher treads the way. On every span of ground, he leaves his footprints clearly cut that all can see, and be assured that he, their master, went that way.
That's right.
Men comprehend the inner life of what they see and do. They come to Allah through ceremony and forms. And so, when they would make men know that sins are washed away by purity in life, a rite symbolic may be introduced. In water, wash the bodies of the people who are turned away from sin and strive for purity in life. This rite of cleansing is a preparation rite, and they who are thus cleansed comprise the temple of purity. And you shall say, "You men of Israel, hear, reform, and wash, and become the sons of purity, and you shall be forgiven." This rite of cleansing and this temple are but symbolic of the cleansing of the soul, which does not come with outward show, but is the temple within. Now, you may never point the way and tell the multitude to do what you have never done. But you must go before and show the way. You are to teach that men must wash, so you must lead the way. Your body must be washed, symbolic of the cleansing of the soul. John said, "Why need I wait? May I not go at once and wash?" Nathanael said, "'Tis well." And they went down to the Jordan ford east of Jericho, just where the host of Israel crossed. When first they entered Canaan, they tarried for a time. Nathanael taught the harbinger and explained to him the inner meaning of the cleansing rite, and how to wash himself and how to wash the multitude. And in the river Jordan, John was bathed. Then they returned into the wilderness. Now, in the Engadines Hills, Methanos worked. This work was done. And he and John went down to Egypt. They rested until they reached the temple of Zechariah in the valley of the Nile. For many years, Mithano was a master in the temple of the brotherhood. And when he told about the life of John, about his mission to the sons of men, the Hierophant with joy received the harmonica, and he was called the brother Nazarite. For 18 years, John lived and wrote within these temple gates. And here he conquered self, became a mastermind, and learned the duties of the heart. Islam. Praise Allah. Praise Allah. Praise Allah. You know, I knew this brother for 8 years. He became real close to me as assistant Grancy, and I don't know really what I'm going to do without him. And there's so many things you could say about this young man, but I had to choose one. But don't let my one lure you from the multitude of others. I just don't have that kind of time. So I want to ask my Moors, who made you?
Allah.
Who is Allah?
Allah is the Lord of the universe.
Can we see him?
No.
Where is the nearest place we meet him?
In the heart.
Where is the nearest place we meet him?
In the heart.
Yes, we do. Family, our brother Vern, at this very moment, is within the divine grace of Allah that lives within the heart. You know, at times, we say 10 things to say, he is gone from us. He has departed from us. But that's not exactly true. That's not exactly accurate. Family, as long as we carry Vern within our hearts, he is still with us right here, right now, always. So let's not mourn his passing, rather celebrate his life. And he had a life. He had a good life. I remember being asked, what is the meaning of life? What is its purpose? And I quickly answered, the meaning of life is to get back to the source where you come, to get back to the Father. Like in the trials of life, it's like salmon going upstream trying to get back to their source. But if you ask me now, this time, I have to have a different message. But if you ask me now, I would say, what is the meaning of life? What is its purpose? It's life itself. That's right. We have to live our life to the fullest. Islam, we have life. Allah gave us life as a blessing and then shortened it to make it more so. He said, could thou see his omnipotent display before thee? That's right. We're supposed to be joyful here. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Islam, he wants us to live in happiness. He wants us to live in joy. We need to enjoy these things around us. We're missing it. We're tearing. Islam, family of all his many virtues, one that stands out to me the most is his industriousness. He didn't stand around. He didn't point the way. He got busy. This is how Vern lived. If he was not studying in school for his improvement, he was promoting his real estate business. If not that, he was promoting his transportation business. He was also a proud owner and operator of an automobile detail business. And all this while overcoming day-to-day challenges that would knock some of us down and out. He when it comes to him being my sister Grand Sheik, he was like his favorite song. Still, excuse me. It goes, I'm a hard driving Muslim on the battlefield. Islam. That was him. When he came, whenever he came, I knew he was going to be right there. I knew he had my back. And I know he would do the thing and see before me. He advised me. He kept me from going crazy when I get excited. When I get my adrenaline up, he had me calm down. I want to argue with somebody. He said, no, you're missing something here. Let's go over it again. And then I said, oh, I guess I was going a little too fast. Let me get myself straight. He was a hard driving monster on the battlefield. Islam? One could think that was all. You say, well, that's enough. But no. In addition to all that, he was a family man who lived in accordance with his faith and believed that setting one's house in order. Islam, we believe that, he said, dear fathers, by these lessons you can set your house in order so your children will learn to love instead of hate. And we talked often about that. Islam, he is a man of his faith and he lived it to his best ability. Islam? What an example to follow. That's industry. That's industrial. That's living life to the fullest. That's taking life's challenges. That was my brother. That was our brother. He's still our brother. He's still our brother. Of all things I will miss the most is our heated debates on topics like, was man the cause of his fall or was it preordained? Oh, we used to go at that. One of us would say one thing, the other would say the other. We grab our Quran and our literatures and we just go back and forth. Get all hot and heated, and after it was all over, we said, so you be there on time tomorrow? Yeah, we'll be there. You know, it's not personal, we just philosophical differences. Vernis Rochel Williams was all, we all do and will miss your presence on this plane of manifest. That's right. We're going to miss you, Lord. We're going to miss you. Vern, with all our hearts and souls, we leave you as we greeted you in the flesh. Peace and love. Peace and love. We'll now just have a read and reflection. I see with the program is Valerie Rucker thing, but it will be Lawrence Jackson Bay, Grand Sheik will do it reading and reflection.
I'm not a sister. Give honors to our prophet Muhammad Ali, all the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America, to the American flag and the Moorish flag. Islam. The Supreme Grand Sheik and Chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Emmanuel Brasford Bay, told me to tell the family, call me right before we came in here, take these classes. He said that Brown was a good man. And we loved him. And he's in the paradise of Allah now. He's in Allah's hearts, like the Lord said. And therefore, he's in all our hearts. He worked hard for the temple. Anything we asked him to do, he did. I might look a little sad, but really, I'm happy.
That's it. Come on.
This one right here, I don't care what we were doing. He had that dashiki on. He don't have a kufi on. He don't have his fans on. And he don't have them Timberlands on. He was who he was, and he is who he is. So now I'm going to read the chapter, and I think this is special for his mother and father.
Come on.
Holy instructions for thy children. Consider thou art a parent, the importance of thy trust. The being thou hast produced, it is thy duty to support. Upon thee also it dependeth whether the child of thy bosom be a blessing or a curse to thyself. A useful or worthless member to the community. And we know he was useful. As long as we know he had work. As long as prepare him early with instruction and season his mind with the maxims of truth. Watch the bent of his inclinations. Set him aright in his youth, and let no evil habit gain strength with his years. So shall he rise like a cedar on the mountain. His head shall be seen above the trees of the forest. A wicked son is a reproach to his father, but he that doeth right is an honor to his gray hairs. One of the first things I heard when our dear brother passed, when I talked to Lieutenant Brown Bay, was that his father said he wanted them to have a Moorish funeral.
That's
And that means that he had impressed his father. Then he said, the soil is thine own. Let it not want cultivation. The seed which thou sowest, that also shall ye reap. Teach him obedience, and he shall bless thee. Teach him modesty, and he shall not be ashamed. Teach him gratitude, and he shall receive benefits. Teach him charity, and he shall gain love. Teach him temperance, and he shall have health. Teach him prudence, and fortune will attend to him. Everything that he did, he was being blessed in. And fortune, Allah breathed on him. But he didn't get all that from his son. He got that from his father and his mother. Come on. And then it says, teach him justice, and he shall be honored by the world. And we honor him. Teach him sincerity, and his own heart shall not reproach him. Teach him diligence, and his wealth shall increase. And it was increasing. Teach him benevolence, and his mind shall be exalted. Teach him science, and his life shall be useful. Teach him religion, and his death shall be happy. The last thing I'm going to say about that is that I heard that when his queen found him, he was bent over the table, reading his holy Quran. He had a happy death. Islam, we all going to taste death. Nobody is going to escape death. But when you die, man, wouldn't it be beautiful to die reading the Word of God? There's so many people die so many wicked ways. When he was born in this world, we didn't know how he was going to die. But he died doing what he loved. Peace.
We'll now have a reading reflection from Brother Edward Gates Benny, Divine Minister.
Islam. I come and worship to Allah, the one who made me, the one who made you, made everything that is, was, and evermore to be.
That's right.
Somebody say Islam. You can say amen also.
That's right.
I Give honor to our prophet Noah Drop, who founded the Moorish Science Temple of America and the Moorish Divine National Movement,
Yes.
which is to teach us that we are not Negroes, we're not colored folks,
That's right.
we are not black people, that we have a nationality and that we are true citizens of these United States of America.
Yeah.
Our prophet wanted us to know these things because he wanted us to learn to be ourselves and stop acting like we don't know who we are.
That's right.
Brother Williams Hill, I came to know of him through an event that we had at our temple. It was an Aim and Goal conference, which was designed to teach everyone who claimed to be Moorish American, everyone who was practicing Islamism, to bring everyone into understanding that there is not but one Moorish Science Temple of America, and try to put everybody on the same page because now we need all hands on deck. But Brother Williams here came along with Brother Fred, and they came, they sat, and they listened. And I just didn't invite Williams Hill, I invited his whole temple. I wanted everybody from the group that he was associated with to come. But he came, and he heard. And he didn't make up his mind just right off the bat like that. We talked many times over the months before he made a final decision as to which road he was going to travel. And to me, that means a lot. Because when you take time to understand and you know what you're doing, you're more likely to become that strong defender of what you believe in.
That's right.
And what you want to do with your life.
Come on, Shane.
So Brother Williams here, he always had in fact, when I heard about him, I told my wife, this is the same day. I said, I miss him already.
Yeah.
You know, we're not supposed to mourn the death.
Yeah.
But we're going to miss him.
Truly.
That's what we're mourning.
Yeah, that's right.
The missing of his presence. The one that we can depend on to be there, regardless of what the weather condition is. He gonna be there. He was not a sunshine kind of weather Lord. He was an all-weather Lord, all-day Lord. Also, I want to give honor to two flags. The American flag, which is our national flag, the flag we were born under. And I want to give honor to the flag here that represent our ancient ancestors. I want to give honor to all of our members who travel all across the United States, from California, Washington, D.C., New Jersey, to be here to celebrate the homegoing of our beloved brother, Vernis Hill. And last but not least, I want to give honor to the family.
That's right. Truly. That's right.
To the mother and father
Yeah.
who brought him into the world.
Greatness. Greatness.
And to his grandmother, and I know she did it, Sister Josephine Austin, who seasoned his mind with the maximum of truth. Who taught him religion that he might have a happy life that not only he, but we can be proud of. And we can stand up here today and say all these wonderful things about him.
Yeah, he showed it.
Not just for show, but because it's true.
Come on. That's right.
So we gather here today on this occasion to celebrate Brother Vernis Williams Hill, Grand Sheik of Temple 21, Sister Grand Sheik of Temple 21. And had he still been in the flesh, he was going to be a divine minister.
That's right.
No doubt. We celebrate this journey that he's taken because this is a journey that we all want to take.
That's right.
All things may go back to the source from which it was made.
That's right.
And so we all going to do that. And so at this point, I'm going to do a short reading from our Quran. Because I want our family and want the Williams family to understand that you have not lost anybody.
That's right.
That's right.
And the chapter that I'm reading from is called The Creation and Fall of Man. I know when I heard this, I was so impressed with the more sides of America. Time never was when man was alive.
That's right. Wow.
And I used to say that to people who wants to come off like they're intellectual and philosophical geniuses. Time never was when man was not. Now they thinking, what is that? What does that mean? If there was a time when the life of man began, there would come a time when it would end.
That's right.
The thoughts of Allah cannot be circumscribed. Man is a thought of Allah.
That's right.
All thoughts of Allah are infinite. They are not measured up by time, for the things that is concerned with time begin and end. The thought of Allah are everlasting of the past, means no matter how far back you go, it's still true.
Yes. That's right.
Until the never-ending days to come, no matter how far you go into the future, it's still true.
Yes.
Truth does not change nor pass away.
That's right.
That's right.
Come on.
But man, the thought of Allah, like every other thought of Allah, was but a seed. A seed that held within itself the potencies, the power of Allah. And just as the seed of any plant of earth holds deep within itself the attributes of every part of every special plant. But that's telling us that Allah abides in us. And we abide in Allah.
That's right.
And so spirit man, as a seed of Allah, held deep within himself the attributes of every part of Allah. Man cannot die.
That's right. Come on.
The spirit of man is one with Allah.
That's right. That's right.
Come on.
And while Allah lives, man cannot die.
That's right.
When man has conquered every foe upon the plane of soul, the sea would have full open out, would have unfolded in the holy breath, and the God of soul would have served its purpose well. And man will need it never again, and it will pass and be no more. And man then will attain unto the blessedness of perfectness and be one with Allah. That's what the Williams family brought to this demonstration. That's what the Williams family put on this earth. That's what the Williams family sent to the Moorish Science Temple of America. He was a strong fighting brother and about him all there is no failure for the human soul. Because Allah is needed and victory is sure. And by our faith we know the surety of the omnipotence of Allah and man. We know certainly that man will attain unto deific life and be one with Allah. So to our beloved brother Sheikh Williams Hill, we say farewell. There he go. But we know the prophet is standing on the other side and say, here he comes. That's a son who have been peculiarly favored and highly distinguished. With that, I say peace and love.
by Sister B. Anderson Gill. It's a rendition of the song, The Telephone.
Telephone is alarm and it won't be long. Transmission with a real slow fade. Telephone is allowed to give you directions home. Transmission with a real slow fade. So fly away to heaven, brother. The maker space for me, brother. Fly away to heaven, brother. The Savior's face for me, brother. Telephone, it's our lot to give you directions home.
Yeah.
Transmission with a real slow fade.
Come on.
Telephone, it's our lot. He has called you home. Transmission with a real slow fade. So fly away to heaven, brother. The Savior's place for me, brother. Fly away to heaven, brother. The maker's face for me, brother. Just fly away to heaven, brother. The maker's face for me, brother. Fly away to heaven, brother. The maker's face for me, brother. Telephone.
Thank you, sir. That was beautiful. Now, at this point, we'll have reading and reflection from our brother, Chief Divine Minister, K. Carter Bay. Islam. I skipped it. Forgive me. Tear up. Our brother Chris Anderson is.
It's a tough one. I love that more. We all love it. First, rise is all praise to Allah. Honest to his holy divine prophet, Lee, one who's responsible for allowing me to meet a reflection of himself called Vernis Rochel.
That's right.
If it wasn't for Prophet Lee, I wouldn't have known this more. I'm so appreciative for Prophet Lee for bringing us that everlasting gospel. Islam, bringing us all together. It's Moorish American Muslims under the divine creed of Islam. The religion of Islam is Islam. Honest. So the first spring branch, you determined the Moorish Muslims of America, ever been here all the way down to the 8th and current spring branch, you determined the Moorish Muslims of America, Emmanuel Braswell Bay.
Yeah.
flags, American flag for the black flag for our birthplace and domicile. The Moorish flag is the flag of our ancient empire, forefathers and foremothers, with the 5-pointed green star in the center that represents love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Islam.
Islam.
Honest to you all, honest to the family of my brother Vernis Rochel.
Yeah.
Brother, we've had many long conversations on the phone and sending good, healthy morsel debates. That's a pretty way she can say, get that head work in. I love it. He was swerving down and he beat me in the chest so many times, but hey, that's neither here nor there. One thing I got to say is that I know my brother will always remain in my heart as he will remain in you all's heart.
Yeah, that's right.
For he himself is not the body nor the soul.
That's right.
But he's the thought of Allah, the spirit of Allah, made manifest. And time it was when man was not. So now that time has come for him departing out of flesh, it hits a little different. Islam.
Come on.
Because sometimes when you're always in happiness, enjoying each other's presence, enjoying each other's company, you don't really think of time that it will end one day. But as long as you keep him in your heart, and we know that's the nearest place to meet Allah.
That's
And him being one with Allah, and we're one with Allah, we're always together, Lord.
Islam.
We're always. Take a reading from chapter 1, the creation and fall of man. The Holy Quran, more scientific of America, divinely prepared by the Prophet Rochel. It says, all finite things are subject unto change. All finite things will cease to be because there was a time when they were not. The bodies and the souls of men are finite things and they will change.
Yes.
Yea, from the finite point of view. The time will come when they will be no more. And that time is came. We can say too soon, we can say unexpected, we can say all kind of things, but it was Allah's will.
Yeah, that's right. All the time.
And Allah's thoughts cannot be circumscribed. There's no finite mind can comprehend things infinite.
Islam.
And Allah, we know, is the infinite one. And long as Allah lives, man will live.
That's right. That's right.
So him just being a thought, being that spirit and a part of Allah, our brother Vernis Rochel is yet still living through him.
Islam.
The man himself is not the body nor the soul. He is a spirit and a part of Allah. So to know that much should bring you joy and understanding that there's more is not in this body that lays before us in this casket.
Right.
Islam.
Our brother man, there's much more than just a body.
Come on. Come on, Chief.
He is a spirit and a part of Allah. And if that doesn't say nothing to you, I don't know how to explain it. To understand that when you know that you are great and have more potential greatness, and he exemplified that while his time on the manifest, he was here. He was so much, as his grand chief stated,
Yes.
businessman, business owner, business minded. And he loved his prophet, he loved his movement, and he supported his grand chief. He supported all his Moorish American family. Temple 21, to all the way across the country to Temple 43, down south to Temple 35, and up north to Temple 1, East Coast to Temple 52. He was there. He supported everything that we do in Alabama. He supported me when I was on my way to our prophet's goddamn chamber. Tell a little story, I'm gonna let it be, because we talk much of the fullness of folly. And I don't want to get up here and start rambling, because I can talk about my brother all day.
That's right.
One thing I'm gonna never forget about my Mo.
Greatness. Yes.
We was on our way to go through that chamber. This brother caught the bus to Alabama to ride with us to Chicago, to be there to support me. We rode that whole ride up to Chicago, me, him, and Brother Hampton Hill. That boy had to push, pull, and drag Hampton Hill to get up there. Then Mama Vernis Rochel called me the night before the day. I was like, I don't know what's going on with this moment. I need to talk to him, to get something going. And I was like, oh, I got it. Thanks for calling me, brother. We was back and forth on the phone, getting this thing together. We overcame all kind of obstacles, all kind of hold-ups. We figured it out. We made a way. And that boy was right there with me the whole time. That's him. This is not one event that we did in Alabama, like I said, that he wasn't a part of, that he didn't assist it, that he made sure he showed his face. I love that boy. We got to know each other. The bonds of affection that unite each and love and unity took place on that ride up and back from Chicago. From that point forward, we got so close. The things wasn't, let me just say, so political. So, gotta watch what I say. Gotta make sure that's a brother I can talk to and let my heart down with and just be real, because he was real with me.
That's right.
Love. And have to be careful and tiptoe around my mother.
That's right. That's right.
To make sure I ain't say the wrong thing or did the wrong thing. I know conversations that we've had will be held secure in my breast the same way with him. All I can say is the reflection of Allah that came through shining from that brother Vernis Rochel was now going to be again, because he was a unique soul on himself.
Yes.
Prophet Mableton, he tells us that the more shines to the mark, the more divine national movement is an everlasting movement.
That's right.
He can lose every last one of us and yet still win.
That's it.
And that's gonna happen.
It is.
Movement will move. It will go on. But I will tell you this, Morris America will not be the same without that love-like reflection of Williamsville. Islam. That being said, came in peace. Leave you all in love.
At this juncture, we'll have a reading and reflection for my brother, K. Carter Berry.
Islam.
I'll say Islam. I'm gonna be brief. I'm gonna talk about 13 verses that me and the more went over from his divine book that he went to his Father God, right? From that divine book. But first, let me give praise to the great God of Allah, which we call God, which is the breath that you breathe, Exercise his name every time you say. There ain't no language, that's your breath. But giving honor to the first Supreme Grand Sheik, Brother E. Millie Hill. Giving honor to the current Supreme Grand Sheik of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Brother Emmanuel Braswell Bay. Mr. Moore stated he couldn't be here today, but he wanted to be. Giving honor to Kenny Brown Bay, his Grand Sheik here in Atlanta, Georgia, which, whom I know truly love him. And when I called him, I said, man, that's a great loss. I spoke to the brother at least 4 to 5 times a week. And his fiance can tell you that. All the time. You know, Vern, man, he was a little demanding sometimes. This brother would get mad if you ain't call him back. We get into a whole dissertation about why this person ain't called me, why this person ain't called me, why this person ain't called me. He calling me like I'm supposed to know. I don't know. I said, well, I'm chopped liver. And Bob said, y'all called me, you called me, Bird. To talk about, you want to talk about somebody else. You want somebody else to talk. You telling me you want to call somebody else. But that was my brother.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say this real quick. The last video, that phone call, it was so detrimental that everybody that he wanted me to contact, or the person he wanted to contact, was the brother at the celebration got to dance. Y'all seen the tape? Y'all seen the video? I'm asking the family. Have y'all seen the video of this brother getting down on the big marquee? Okay, that was the last phone call I had with him. He said, Mo, did you get the video? Did you get the video? I'm like, what video, Mo? He's like, the video, Mo. Check the video. This brother called me 2 weeks straight. I finally said, let me go ahead and check the video. And I checked the video, man, that brother was dancing. He said, because, you know, you always tease me that I never dance. Now, call Hughes here, tell him to give me a call so he can look at the video too. That's my Mo. That's my Mo for real.
Yes,
And we would talk for hours and hours, and you know Vern liked to talk. I don't know how he started all these businesses when he was on the phone all the time. This brother, man, he had I don't even know what a chemical car wash is. Without water. How you gonna clean the car without water? He called the people, he like, man, I'm trying to get this company going. I said, what? He said, it's a waterless car wash. So, you just spraying dirt all around the place. But the more made it work, he would call me every time he had a client. He would call me and I'm like, boy, I don't know how you cleaning this car or you talking to me for like 35, 45 minutes. But the mother was so adept. Let me get to the 13 verses. Can I do that? Because this is what he wanted. Who y'all here for? Yourself or him? If y'all come to celebrate his life for one time,
That's right. Come on.
I know I look strange, but this is what he was into.
Yes. That's right.
Don't fault me. This is what he was into. If you love him, you can at least pay attention. Right? If we can't stand for him now, when we gonna stand for him? When is gonna be the next time that we all gonna come together and celebrate? Oh, I'm sorry, Vernis. I didn't know his name was Vernis. They know I like to have fun. Don't say things around me. He told me his name was Bird. I said on the program, what? This brother talked to me 4 times a week, and that damn one of those times he told me his name was Bird. Okay, I digress. Let me get to the 13 verses. Is long? It says, as the eye of the morning to the lark, as the shade of the evening to the eye, as honey to the bee, or as the carcass to the vulture, even such is life unto the heart of man. See, what the great God is saying, that the lark is a bird that hunts in the morning. Then he states that an owl is also a bird who hunts at night, right? So the lark can't come out at night because the lark can't see in the dark. Right? The owl can't come out in the morning because the sun is too bright, so it's nocturnal, so it has to hunt at nighttime. Then he says, as honey to the bee, or as the carcass to the vulture, even such is life unto the heart of man. Right? The bee loved the sweetness, but the vulture loved the corruptness. He says, though bright, talking about life. I want you to understand, this is about life. This is not about him in the casket. It's about you that's breathing right now. But you listen close, because life gonna take you through ups and downs. See, it took his death to get you all to come and listen to what he was into. It took his death for now for you to understand why he was Vernis Williams in. Because we don't listen to the folks we need to, or truth, when they're in the flesh. It takes for them to go out the flesh for you to listen. See, he understood something, that life can be dark, but you still can get advantages. That life can be bright as day, but you still can conquer. Right? Life can be sweet, but yet you can still eat it. Life can be corrupt, but yet you can still thrive in it. He says, life, though bright, it dazzles not. Dazzle means that it's not so bright that it blinds you. Right? He says, though obscure, dark, it displeases not. He says, though corrupt, it forbiddeth not. Talking about life, yet who is he that knoweth its true value? Who in here know the true value of life?
Good question.
If you get anything out of Vernis Williams, right? His last testimony, everybody up here gave his last testimony. This is his breath. He died reading this. Do you want to know why he died reading this?
Come on.
Allah said enough is enough. He shortened his life to make it so a blessing. We the ones in danger. You see what's going on in the world? We the ones in danger. You see the price of gas? We the ones in danger. Come on now, you're not supposed to be sad because that sadness ain't gonna bring her back. What you doing?
That's right.
But the happiness can comfort you. What you doing? You can cry as much as you want to, it's not gonna bring them back. But if you really want to get close to the essence of who he is, understand his teachings, understanding his leaders, understanding the people that influence him. We trying to get that to you right now. We giving you a crack into his mind, how he think and why he was so industrious. You all know that he probably was not industrious before he got into this movement. Because he went to jail. Like me. What? Like me. But he became industrious because of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Took him off the streets where he wasn't a Negro no more.
That's right.
He wanted to be an entrepreneur. That's what we practice and promote in the Moorish Science Temple of America. Most of us have our own businesses. He was inspired by that.
Come on now.
Give honor to his movement.
That's right.
You know giving honor to his movement is giving honor to him.
That's right. That's right.
He wasn't ashamed to look like this. He wasn't ashamed of his God. Like you should not be. Celebrate him in all his facets, in all his ways, in all his glory. He said, learn to esteem as thou ought. Learn to esteem, give a good value of life as you should. He said, then art thou near the pinnacle of wisdom. He said, think not with the fool that nothing is more valuable, right, than your life. Because when you understand that all life is one, Jesus said he is the life. He said, I am the life. What do you think he was saying? These are the verses that we were going over.
That's right.
When the Grand Sheik asked me what chapter, I said, oh, I got to do the pinnacle of wisdom. Because maybe he foresaw this. See, when you meditate enough and you pray enough and you read enough, God will talk to you. So what did he do? He knew he was gone, so he grabbed his Quran. You ain't got to read it, but you study it. You know there ain't nothing in here that you said so far that was wrong. Nothing. Truth is self-authenticating. Truth don't need your support. You know it's truth when you hear it. That's how the revelation. This is the month of Ramadan. This is the month where you're supposed supposed to hear the God speak teachings. Oh, the gospel. Whatever name you want to call the book. It's still the Quran. It's God's speech. It's God's word. You can't circumscribe truth. Right? The pinnacle of wisdom is the fact that you gain wisdom from all parts of life. The ups and downs. The light, the dark, the sweet, the bitter. Every part of it. Accommodate thyself to all. Right? Don't get so puffed up when you got money. Right? Don't get so mad when you get broke. What you think life is built upon? Right? The light and the dark, the sweet and the bitter, or the corrupt. Where will we be today without the corruption? You are what you are today because of what you went through in life. What are you saying?
Come on.
And you want him back here with us? With COVID? Waiting on another booster shot? What you think all these variations are? That's God giving you the booster shot. Right? He got the latest. He knows what's coming before it comes. So if y'all here, y'all getting inoculated. By the truth, Islam, I'm going to say one more. I said I was going to do 13, but I ain't get to the 13. Islam? Let's read this. He says, verse 5, thank you. Gold cannot buy it for thee. Neither mines of diamonds purchase back the moment thou hast lost it.
Come on.
See, what you need to know today is life is lived from moment to moment.
That's right.
What are you taking this time, this moment? Because you don't know how many moments you got to get your life in order. We all gonna come in this casket. How many funerals you seen? And you act like he's surprised? Our prophet told us it's 1,000 ways in which man may be destroyed.
That's right.
There's only one way where he could be born, but it's 1,000 ways in which he may be destroyed. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it don't matter. You got whether you got an autopsy or not. One thing's for certain, you was going to die. And every way that you die is by appointment of Allah. No matter what it is. Right? That's how you stop your grieving. Because his father called him home. Now we want to call him back. To what? Islam? Okay. He says, gold cannot buy it for thee. Your life is more precious than gold. Are y'all with me? We ain't got but a couple more minutes. We're going to do this for Vernon. What else you got to do today? Right? This whole day should be dedicated to him. What I'm trying to enunciate to you right now, your whole life from now on should be dedicated to living right, doing the things that you want to do.
That's right, Lord. Come on.
Right? He said, life, gold cannot buy it for thee, your life. Neither mines of diamonds purchase back the moment. You know why you can't purchase back the moments with mines of diamonds? Do y'all want to know?
Why?
Because a moment is only a moment. And as soon as you go to try to purchase it, thou hast now lost it. It's gone. Who are you going to pay for the moment? By the time you have a moment to pay for it, another moment has come.
That's right.
You live your life from moment to moment. Islam? So then he says this, he says, now since you understand you employ your life from moment to moment, he said, now employ the succeeding ones in virtue. You can't cry about past moments. Just use the ones that's going to come next. Right? Doing good.
That's right.
That's all we can do. So this is the lesson you got to learn right now, because he all right, but you not. I want you to walk away. It's a ministry to death. Right? And the part of the ministry, you're going to die. I used to be an insurance agent. Right? I used to be an insurance agent. And I learned not to be scared to talk about death because you ain't going to get no money. So I had to learn how to be comfortable to talk to our people about how many funerals we went to. We had to do the little collection.
Wow.
As if we didn't know that moment was going to come. He says, let me jump down. He says, a good death is better than an evil life.
That's right.
A supposed to.
Yeah.
Right? If you employ your life from now on doing the right thing, everybody in here got a moral compass. Everybody in here is a reference point, right? So you know right from wrong. Part of our religion, our prophet Noah teaches us is to act as thy soul dictate, and that end shall always be right. If you want to know what Islamism is, Islamism is that act as thy soul dictate, and the end shall always be right type of religion. I look the way I look because it's my religion. I talk the way I talk because it's my religion. That's what my Supreme Grand Sheikh tells us. I walk the way I walk because I'm a Muslim. We don't need no big book. Somebody hold up the Moore's Quran. Who got the Moore's Quran? Now, this book ain't that big. Because how much words you need to know to be yourself? How much they need to know? Go inside and find your God. Stop wasting your moments. Stop wasting your time. Islam? It's about that time for everybody. Islam? Can I read one more verse? One more verse before. I weigh your patience down. I know we all got someplace to go. Right? But I'm trying to tell you that devil is vicious. Even in the path of wisdom, we will toil out the folly. We will work out the folly. Even being right here, celebrating this brother, we're thinking about when we gonna get up out of here. And the funeral home trying to bring in the next client. This is the Lord's truth. This is how we do. We don't want you to be on be sad. Burn no, devil ain't no enemy man. He died. Y'all see the card?
You got the card.
Do y'all understand the card? The card on there says that he's a Muslim. The card on there says that he ain't no Negro, no black. Because guess what? If I'm not black, they can't be white. And if they ain't white, I can't be black. Because it's both created at the same time. You eliminate one, that's the other. Islam. But on that card, he was proud to say he was a Muslim. He was proud to say that he was a part of the Moorish Science School of America. He was proud to say he was a Moorish American. And guess what? That card is in his hand. And we position it in such a way that you're looking at it as you're going into the underworld. Because we do believe we're going to come back. You heard the Grand Sheikh read, there's no enemy, death ain't no enemy to man, and man cannot die. Chapter 1. That's our first lesson. That man cannot die. That's right. As long as you keep committing sins, you're coming back. Because the only place you can fulfill your destiny when you commit sins is here on earth. You can't commit sins in hell. Come on. You go to hell because of your sins. But we believe that there ain't no heaven, there ain't no hell, they wasn't created. Guess what Vern believed? That man didn't create a heaven, that didn't create God didn't create a heaven, God didn't create a hell. Y'all with me? God didn't create a heaven, God didn't create a hell, that we are creators and we create our own. So we not really saying there ain't gonna be no hell, we just saying God didn't create it. You are a creator and you're gonna create your own hell. So if you are the creator of your own hell, you better create hell out of existence. I ain't trying to go there. If God has given me the ability to create my own, I'm gonna write the narrative. My hell gonna look like paradise. Islam? That's what Vern believed. You know what? He says, 14. Take off the time of thine infancy. So now he wants you to see how you're using your time. Right now, I'm skipping over verses for time. Because I know how the mind works, y'all ready to go. So what Allah is putting down, he's showing that how we're wasting time. He said, take off thy time, thy infancy, when you was a little baby. Right? You got to take whatever your age is. Everybody mentally think about what your age is. And I want you to start doing this subtraction. Take off the time, take the time of thy infancy when you was a little baby. The second infancy of age, when you can't do no, when you're so old. Don't get offended, we all gonna get there. We all gonna die, we all gonna get old. So take off the time when you're your second infancy, where you can't do that for yourself. You can't go out and party, you can barely eat, you can barely walk, you can do all these things. These things are promised to us, Father. As long as we stay hours of sleep. But when you start living your life from moment to moment, you get up as early as possible. You ain't got no time to waste. Right? So take off the time to sleep, and then he said, thy thoughtless hours. Y'all get the math? When you was a baby, when you get old, when you sleep, and your thoughtless hours, he says, oh, and the days that you are sick. And even at the fullness of years, how old you are right now, how few seasons has thou truly numbered? Come on. What are you doing with your time?
That's right.
That's the reason why I know Vern. Yeah. I have a commercial cleaning company. I'm gonna say this like I'm gonna say. I'm today's baby led the way. I have a cleaning company, and I was trying to start another cleaning company with a bunch of different people in the organization in more sides of America. We all have similar businesses. We don't create our own. We want to create our own franchise.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? We said, no, we don't want to get our contracts from somebody else. Let's get together and create our own franchise. Right? Vern got one of that. So Vern said, yeah, man, I like that idea. I want to be on the board. I said, Vern, do you got any experience with commercial cleaning? Fred, he said, no. He said, but I want to be on the board. I said, Vern, I got to talk to the other board members because you're going to be a decision maker. And we can't have nobody that's on the board that never don't got the experience. They're going to be making decisions they shouldn't be making. He said, I know, I don't want to hear all that. Just talk to him, let me know, can I be on the board? I said, yeah. The board came, we talked about it, he said, what he's going to bring to the table? One of the things I said to myself was tenacity.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tenacity. Yes, Mom? And with that being said, I'm going to say praise be to Allah, honor to his holy prophet, noble Jubilee. I'm going to miss Vernis Rochel,
AKA Vern.
AKA Vern. Like I said, man, it was multiple times a week we would talk, and I missed those phone calls. Islam, don't miss nobody else's phone calls up in here. Peace and love.
That was wonderful. Thank you.
Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, let me stand. I am tired, I am weak, I am cold. Through the storm, through the night, lead me on to the light. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me on. When my way grows drear, precious Lord, lay God near. When my life is almost gone, hear my cry, hear my call, hold my heart, lest I fall. Take my heart, precious Lord, lead me on.
Praise your love.
At this juncture, we'd like to open up the floor for family who wishes to have some words of reflection for our dear brother. If anyone would like to have a word introduction. Praise.
Hey everybody, I'm Alexis, I'm LeVon's daughter. Vern called me a stepdaughter, but
What's up, right,
my first time meeting Vern, I didn't allow him to, you know, give me the love that he gave me because I felt like it was betrayal to my father. But he only wanted the best for me. And everything that I've went through since I've been in Georgia, he has given me support. He has been there for me and my brother and my sister. And he has always, you know, tried to give me some type of guidance. And a lot of the things that I do today, especially in my household, I do look back and say, you know, Vern was right. And I was just kind of being a knucklehead because I didn't want to listen because I thought everything he was saying was just, you know, a bunch of him just trying to be controlling. But I now know that, you know, and I really regret not opening up and just letting him love me, you know, because that's all he wanted. He just wanted us to know that he did care about us and that even though a lot of the ways that he had we didn't like, he was looking out for us in the end. And he loved my children. And I can say that he loved them and they loved him, you know, because my last child, she don't like nobody. But she loved her. And I just hate that, you know, this is how it happened. But I miss him. And I'm sorry, Mr. Riley. It was weird.
What's good with y'all, man? My name is Joshua. I never knew my real father for real, but what was my father? You know what I'm saying? If anybody say he had no children, that's a lie. For real. He came in my life when I was 3 years old. He's the first man I wanted to walk like, talk like, act like, smell like, dress like, it didn't matter. Because when I seen Raw, I seen a real one. At all times, it don't matter what he was doing. Like, I was part of that when he was in the streets. You feel me? I seen the feds take on my own eyes. You feel me? And then I seen when he had his, when he took me to the Moorish temple. And they was quoting Buddha and Jesus and Muhammad. You know what I'm saying? And he was the one speaking. And that just made me proud because he always, ever since I was little, like, you know what I'm saying? He didn't take me to Mason meetings, let me know, you know what I'm saying, about the first presidents and the real history behind Native America. You know what I'm saying? If it weren't for him, he the one who planted the seed for me to be into history, to be into spirituality. You know what I'm saying? Because of him, I'm 26 and I'm wise. I ain't 26 and I ain't lost. And that's real. You know what I'm saying? And last time I seen him, you know what I'm saying, I'll never forget because I don't know if y'all know, but you know what I'm saying, one thing about my posse, love Thug Motivation by Young Jesus, you know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping 100, that's who he was a real one, you feel me? He listen to real music, he don't listen to no fake music. If it don't touch his heart, he ain't gonna listen to it. And this is what he used to listen to. Now, I'll never forget, we was up there Atlanta Hall game and Jesus was down there. I was like, hey, Pop, remember you bump Jesus all the time? We cracking up and all that. And I said, we're gonna get down there, you know what I'm saying? So to hear his passing kind of made me, kind of hurt me because it's like, I had plans for us. But at the end of the day, like he said, it was his time.
Right.
It was his time. I just thank God. I just thank the Most High that He gave him the most painless, most peaceful death that a man can ever face. I want to end it with this. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to take up all the time, but I want to end it with this. Like Pops, I want to thank you for everything. I want to thank you for teaching me. No matter if I got $1 in my pocket or I got a fat wallet, I'll remain me. spirit instead of physical. It don't matter how big a man is, it's about your spirit. A man that's 7 foot can have a spirit of a seed, but a man that's 2 foot can have a spirit of the universe. I just want to say I love you, Pops, and just keep looking after me, and just keep me strong. And I will be strong for you. And see, ever since now that I'm living, I'm still living, and you gone, your name lives on through me. That's real.
Good evening. This Josephine Austin is my buddy, his grandmother. She goes to my church and she teaches me. I've been taught today also. Give God a hand. Dr. Jones, and I listen to Josephine because she teaches me through the Sunday school. But I've been taught today by what you've done. And Mr. Vernis Williams is a wonderful man, and you have explained it so wonderfully. And this, God bless you, but you know, I'm going to go back to my church. He's not dead. He's alive with God.
I'm Vernis Rochel. Me and Vern, my name is Otis. I'm his stepson. Me and Vern bumped heads a lot, but it was all out of love. We had a bunch of debates. Like Grant C said, when you sit there and argue for hours, it was love at the end of the day. It was times where we had, because there's 2 alpha males in the household. He was a big alpha, I'm a little alpha. It was times my mom had like small little leftovers on her plate. We sitting there like, not getting that, I'm getting that. And just back and forth, a little petty beef. But you learn a lot from Vernon if you actually sit there and listen to him. You gotta listen to him. That's for everybody. A lot of people go through their own stuff, you never know. And that Vernon was unexpected, coming home seeing him like that. And it hurt. And no matter what we had going on, it was all out of love. And I love you, Miss Gwen, and Mr. Vernon, and Grant, Leandra, my big head sister in the back who's scared to get up. But it's all love, and I'm glad to see everybody came out for Vernon.
Y'all made it better for me. I tell you, my best friend, family, they always talk about y'all. And Vernis tried to took me there. You always just come pick me up. You ride. Talk about his family all the time. Y'all some character. Especially when you love you was pride and joy. So I'm happy you moved in, but you moved in when I get a taste of what I was doing to my team. Now you see how it is. But me and the brother were always close. Our brotherhood rule, our leadership at that time, he's always passed together every time we had an event. I said, hey man, you know, why y'all always keep hanging with the brother? You know, we don't really see our value. He said, Moses, just do what I should do. He said, I got it. So he paired us together to go see Grand Sheik. We had 2 events. We had a martial art event and other events that he wanted to send people to. So I wanted to go to the martial art event, you know what I'm saying? He said, no, you got to go over over here. He said, brother right there. So he said, Mo, so you're a read, you hot-head. He said, this Mo is a leader. So you need that Mo, man. You might not know it, but you need it. He said, because he's going to keep you cool. Because you go off too quick. So on that ride to the temple, me and that man had an instant, like brothers. Then on the way back, even him strong. I was like, man, what's this? I said, maybe we got something here. You know what I'm saying? You can't act about Stride. I can't tell the moon every night. But and we just became best friends like brothers, man. I mean, just that quick. And we rode to the temple for years together. Right? And all we did was talk about our lives. We both came from the street. And we were both on the same journey for something. You know what I'm saying? We tried to do better. We did that, brother. You know what I'm saying? So I like to see somebody on the same page. You understand where I'm coming from. You know what I'm saying? We both looked for something, found a product. We've been here ever since. You know, I just want to thank Ruth for seeing that, brother. Appreciate it for giving me my best friend. You know what I'm saying? I really appreciate it. He always talk about his father, his mother, how he was raised. Y'all raised perfect. Y'all always do things. True angel. Every time the brother was down needing something, I'm right. Yes, Lord. She gave me a truck. She gave me a truck, right? He told me, I got a truck. Hey man, just make some money, can we haul some around? Truck this big. Let me get what we get, I come back and get it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's you know, I love the brother. It hurt me. Because you know, it hurt to lose a brother, you know what I'm saying? I can't call him a friend because they ain't good at me. Because I can talk about family things and going through wife separated. He helped me through that. That's all. I mean, we get back to the man should help me. You know, he became my big brother. Even though he's younger than me. He became my big brother. Every time I needed something, I call, hey man, you know, I'm going through something, brother. I need your help. Pass it to him. And he should do it. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. I disrespect you, Brad Sheep. That's dog my man. That's what I'm saying. That's what dog my man. That's what
Greetings. I want to honor my illustrious brother, your noble brother, Brother Noble Brown, Vernis Rochel, names. We first started this more science journey together. Actually, I was the one that pointed the way to him, saying, you know, we need to check this out. We were both in the craft. And at that time, we arrived to the conclusion, we called him Rochel Bay. His first name, Rochel Bay. Then we found out that it was a split with the grand bodies, had a confusion, which one was right. So we used the Masonic form to determine which one was right. We go by Masonry, the one that the prophet or the grand appointed. So we came to the conclusion where he arrived to the grand body that he is and passed on today. And Friday before the holy day, before he transcended, we was doing some business, like the brother was saying, he's industrious. We was doing some real estate together, trying to work some deals out. He said, wait till Monday so we can finish that transaction. I said, no, I want to get it done now. He said, wait till Monday, we got time. Then I heard that word.
Take time. It's okay.
And I'll never see my illustrious brother in the flesh again. But I heard the motivating words today. Spirit man. Spirit man, that holy brother.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean? So I know he arrived at a good place. You know, he was an industrious brother. He lived that beehive the best as he could. That's my brother, and I love him eternally. What's bringing these tears in my eye today, I know he went out the way he wanted. We used to discuss his grandfather's transition, how he wanted his funeral to be. And the impressiousness, or the impression that the Prince Hall Freemasons made. And I got to say, you brothers in the Morris Science Temple today, y'all accomplished that goal that he wanted. And send him on the right way.
Yes, sir. One man, one more.
I appreciate y'all.
And I think I'm dropping my tears because they getting here, and I didn't see my man before he left. Straight vision. Since '96, first of all, every testimony that everybody said, I could witness it, I could vouch for it, because the wash, his car wash, that business was gonna kick off.
Yes, it was.
Just before his going up to the highest, we had dinner that Saturday at Golden Ground and lunch that Sunday. And we was talking about exactly what you just said. First of all, I'm Scott. I don't know if anybody knows, I'm sure everybody heard of me at one point in time. Just to learn self-correction. That's my man. That's my man. That's my man. We've been through everything. We talked about everything. When we were starting off, he brought me in the prayer. I touched down in Georgia in '96, almost the same time as him. We started working in Marietta, Georgia. Every time I seen this guy, he had literature walking around, literature reading it, and I stopped and I'm like, bruh, what is it? Why is you so like perfect? Why are you so like? Why are you like this? What is this you read? You want to ask me, what that mean? I'm asking you. And long story short, from that point on, he introduced me to something that I would never, ever get into. That's my man. We got pictures, we got thoughts, we got conversations. I love you, wifey, but whenever we get on the bad side, I call her, bro, hey, well, I'm on my way up to Douglasville. I'm always doing it. I'm on my way up there. Let's go eat. Wow, Scott. That was my getaway partner, my brother, my homie. When you seen Ro, you seen me. When you seen me, you seen Ro. And if you didn't see us together, they was asking, where's Scott? Where's Ro? Nothing but love. You always talk about mom, you always talk about dad, you always talk about grandma, you always talk about all the cousins that he had in VA, Richmond. Every time he get on the phone talking to somebody, I know, hey, hold on, let me do a three-way. Click, click, click. Hey, Scott, I got this guy from Richmond. You might know him because you're from DC. He was that loving brother, man. It don't matter, man. He could be in any state. And if somebody calling to say he's from a state that he knows somebody in, he's going to pick up the phone and call and say, hey, man, this guy right here says he's from your state. You know him? Brother, man, I love you, brother. I love you, man. And everybody, the brothers, the sisters, the moms, the dads, everybody knows nothing but love between me and you. And it hurt me so bad. I got the call from one of the other brothers. Couldn't realize it. Took it to heart to understand it. But when I came to realization, I already know. Creator got him. He's in a better place. A way better place. I just want to say thank you for just getting me here to say what I have to say about him.
Honors to everyone in attendance. I'll be extremely brief. Vern, he was just like me. I'm a businessman, and me and Vern, we used to have talks about business all the time. And everywhere, like every time we used to travel over the last few years, he would always end up in my hotel room or my car or something like that, and we would always get into the debates, right? And after a while, we had gotten into so many debates. Every time I saw him, I would always start to ask him, oh, what's up with this business? Oh, what's up with this business? Oh, what's up with this business? It's almost like I was coming off aggressive to him. So he started to think that I didn't like him. He started to think that I didn't like him, and when I heard about it, I was like, I don't know why he would think something like that. Then I started to think, I used to hold this thought in my mind. Like Vern, he had so much potential. And it's not that I didn't like him. I loved him so much that I was willing to crack him open with the information. I didn't care about how he felt. He didn't care about how I felt, but I loved him so much that I started, like, I was willing to give my life just to give him all the information that I had. And when the last thing that I remember buying from him, right, one of his businesses, he had a business that he sold these eye masks. Oh, like I went up to him, he came to convention to sell them one year, right? I had no money to buy them, but I wanted to support them. And then the next year when I finally had some money, right? I was like, Vern, where your sleepy eye mask at? He was like, oh, I didn't bring him this year, right? Next time I said, Vern, where your sleepy eye mask at? He said, oh, I didn't bring him this year. I said, no, what are you doing? You got a business and you didn't bring your product? Right? He said, well, man, last time I brought him, ain't nobody else want to buy him. I said, just because they not buying don't mean that you stop selling. That's right. He said, just because you buy don't mean that you stop selling. I said, I'll take 20 of them out. I bought a case of 20 of them, right? And I gave them out to people. I know I only got one bed and 2 eyes. I don't sleep in one place. Right? But when I started to sit down and use it, I didn't use it for sleep. And when I thought about Vern, right, I brought it to my meditation room. And I used to sit there and put the thing on my eyes, and I sat there and sat there and sat there, and I said, Vern, I called them when it came to my mind. I said, the people don't need more sleep. I said, you're not selling sleeping masks, you're selling meditation masks. Honors to Vern because he strove in this. We strove with truth in every single thing that he did. And I give honors that I'm honored that he would even call me in regards to business when he needed information. That was all I wanted to share.
Good afternoon. I'm Bob, and I basically just wanted to say how much we appreciate you and how much your words have meant to us. As a parent, you know, I guess I have tunnel vision in some respects, and you brought my perspective about my son. I guess I've always dealt with him from the point of view of, you know, make sure you're doing this right. I mean, they have this old saying, you never get respect in your own neighborhood. And, you know, and just hearing people's testimony makes me aware of how much more there was to my son than I realized. You know, I knew he had potential and all of that, but like most parents, I felt like you're not living up to your potential, but the outpouring of love and affection that I've heard from so many people make me realize that, you know, I was only looking at a glass half empty as opposed to a glass half full. So I just want to thank you for that on behalf of me and our family. And I also want to thank the more American more society. But you know, and they all talk to me and they say, like they said today, how much he meant to them. But I know, and I'm sure his mother knows, how much they meant to him. I believe that they made a fundamental change in his life. And I just thank you for that.
brings us to the end of the program. So at this juncture for us, North Americans, we'll now have closing prayer.
Everybody stand.
Allah, bind our hearts and minds back to our ancient forefathers, divine creed and principle. We ask this in our holy name, and the seven Elohim. Amen. Islam.
Excuse me, if I could have everybody's attention, please. The service is still going on. If I could have everybody have a seat, please. On behalf of Mr. Willie and Watkins and our entire Douglasville staff, I'd like to thank you for entrusting your loved one into our care. We have done anything to help lighten the load, and truly our aim has been accomplished. And in doing so, we have prepared for you a beautiful memorial play.
Thank you again.